Good morning, everyone. This is Andy Morbitzer, CEO, Panther Strategies. Welcome to the call. Today, we're going to talk about Panther Strategies and the business overview. We've got some exciting promos going on. I'll talk about some of the comp plan that we tweaked and how we built the corporate power leg. And then we'll give a recommendation here on one of our products that the timing is absolutely perfect. And then we'll speak about another product that will probably add to our offerings and the ability to acquire gold in a little bit different way. So as we get started, welcome to the call. Okay, right out of the gate, when we talk about Panther Strategies, the whole concept of Panther Strategies is to have a place where you own, maintain, and control your own money. You're, in essence, going to be your own bank, your own broker, because we see around the world, there's clear and present dangers everywhere, from political interference to trade wars, currency wars, absolutely off the charts debt, the highest price to earnings ratio in the stock market. So these dangers should, if you're a normal thinking individual, that you should take some action to protect yourself against these dangers. And one of the ways that you can do that, of course, is to take control of assets that you own, maintain, and control, because there was never a worse feeling in my life when 2008 hit. I'm sitting on what I think I was at, I can't say their name, the largest mutual insurance company in the United States, where we sold every financial product under the sun. And we sat and we watched the crash of 2008, and I was hopeless. I lost half my net worth. The industry in which I invested, the industry in which I made a profession, was all a lie. It was all manipulated. So that really was the first step in the thought process of how do I protect what I have? How do I diversify? How do I control things where I'm not subject to someone else's decision, someone else's greed? So ownership was a key factor in that, because we know fiat currencies, there's a reason why there's the word note on bills or on currency, because note signifies debt. And without debt, there would be no fiat currency. So that's why you're always seeing governments print money to try to stimulate the economy, expand the monetary supply, manipulate things. If you have a pension, you have a 401k, I would take astute interest in what we have to offer and why. Pensions and 401k, especially pensions, are grossly underfunded. You can throw in social programs as well. 401ks, whenever you have something that has a hyperbolic increase in value or appreciation, or whether it was the real estate boom of the early 2000s, the dot-com boom, or cryptocurrency here, a year and a half ago, when you see these appreciation or these hyperbolic movements in value, that should be a key indicator that these things cannot sustain that type of intensity, that type of upward movement. So to combat those risks, you need to take a little profit off the top. And whether you're in paper assets, stocks and bonds, or you're in cryptocurrency or any other asset for that matter, real estate is a good one. When you start to see the indicators that you've hit the top of the valuation, well, of course, then you need to take a little bit of profit off the top. And that typically is the biggest problem. I liken it to, the best analogy is a gambler that goes to Vegas, and he's winning and winning, but won't take any money and put it in his pocket and give himself the ability to walk away. They let it ride and they let it ride, and through attrition, they're going to lose their money. The system is set up where you are going to have a challenge, whether it be rules, regulation, taxes, encumbrances, seizures, whatever it might be, overvaluation, manipulation, it all goes hand in hand. This big ball of nonsense that the world has created doesn't serve you well. It puts you in a very peculiar situation where you be prepared to lose half your net worth. Be prepared to live a different standard of life, because it's coming. It's just a matter of time. There's too many things going on worldwide that we can't buy our way out and spend our way out of this mess. It's just fact of the matter. So when we look at these different, what I call dangers, diversification is the key to survival and thriving in the 21st century, because you got to remember the world is connected worldwide, and it's only going to take one major player to bite the dust that's going to send everything into turmoil. So we created Panther Strategies to mitigate or to protect and insure against these overwhelming forces against you, for lack of better things. So what we offer is give you the ability, the power, because we know people struggle month to month. They live month to month, and what little money they do save, it better be rock solid, because you can't, it's very difficult until you reach that equilibrium of where your money's working for you and you understand compound interest and you can live off your investments. You've got a long way to go, and it's a particularly dangerous, confusing financial world we live in. So we set out to make this easier and have a one-stop shop of a platform that gives you all the advantages, whether it be first to market, new competition, penetration of these new markets, emerging markets, the Pacific Rim. It allows you to make more money, because at the end of the day, that's exactly what our products are. That's our service. Other than Atlas Forge educational platform, every product we have is built or based on the idea of you owning and maintaining and controlling it. So that's what made Panther different than all other platforms that I see out there. Is not only can you make money, earn commissions through sharing the business model, you can also, in a perfect world, all of our products should have the ability to appreciate. So you're leveraged, you're checking off a lot of boxes right from the get-go, from day one when you become a member. And since I'm talking about membership real quick, for the next 3 weeks, as our memberships values, tiger position is what everybody is going to qualify for the next 3 weeks. For any personally sponsored or direct commissions, why, of course, you're going to earn 12%. And you also would earn 70 euros per forge. So that's quite a promotion to get this thing kicked off, since we tweaked the comp plan and built one single power leg. We got through the beta testing and we checked all the bells and whistles and everything seemed to work. So we thought we'd run a promotion here for the next 3 weeks to get some momentum, to get some volume going for some folks that have been around since day one, that are doing, taking the proper steps to diversify their lives and their families now. So we're an international turnkey operation, and it's really financial education you won't find in school. And our flagship product is Atlas Forge. Atlas Forge is where we talk and discuss about capitalism, innovation, entrepreneurship, real money, diversification. And we've gathered people from around the world to speak on behalf of that core competency or their industry, where you can learn and you can earn. So Atlas Forge, if you haven't checked it out on Facebook, atlasforge.com, or go to our channel on YouTube, Atlas Forge or Panther Strategies, you'll find a lot of good information there. It's definitely something you should engage in. So we diversify assets and income in one opportunity. We're a one-stop shop for, think about what happens on every membership and every person that becomes part of our culture, if you will, that they buy a membership, automatically 20% of all membership packages go to diversification, meaning you can buy any real property asset that you'd like. It immediately diversifies you. In most cases, it will diversify you under a different regulatory entity, whether it be vaulting, gold or silver, strategic metals. So right out of the gate, we've created a worldwide business opportunity. We've created diversification, assets abroad. We've started a real property savings account, if you will. So, and we've produced an income generating platform. And some of those commissions also, add to your diversification by being paid with the real property. So that's why Panther is, in my opinion, one of the best platforms out there. And as we talked about before, direct sales rewards typically start at 5 to 15%. But for the next 3 weeks, we're paying everybody as a tiger 12% direct referral and 70 euros per forge. And you acquire a forge, or a forge is the action is when you get volume on one side and volume on the other of 500 points on the left, 500 points on the right, generates a cycle or a commission. We offer career bonus, meaning your total body of work on a monthly basis earns you 200 euro to 50,000 euros per month. And then Atlas Forge subscriptions You earn a commission on the Pioneer of €5 and of the Mastery of €10 per month, per person, per subscription. Club Forge Rewards. This is what the industry calls cycling, but we call it Club Forge Rewards because it fit nicely. And so you would earn 30 to 80 euros depending upon your level. And since for the next 3 weeks, everybody's going to be at the Tiger level, you're €10 away from maxing out the Club Forge Rewards for the next 3 weeks, earning €70 per month. So club matching bonus, 22% total, 3 generations of a bloodline, not of levels, meaning I sponsor A sponsors B, and B sponsors C. That total 1075 matching bonus, as this builds out, could easily be the #1 way that you get paid. And then, of course, we have a beautiful car bonus. We love the idea of the car bonus. It's great for marketing. It's a great motivational tool. It worked very well in some companies that we're in previously. And then, of course, incentives. You got to reward your leaders from the smallest to the largest. So we have incentives that range anywhere from €200 all the way up to, well, about $1 million, 750,000 euros in a villa. So with that said, we coexist with any other program or work schedule. You can see here the freedoms of being an entrepreneur. You can work from home, no schedule, no boss, no commuting, no sales quotas. You're finally going to earn what you're worth. It's all about you. We've done all the hard work. We've presented it in such a way that all that you have to do is be a good inviter. Get people on these calls and share the message. You don't have to be the expert. That's why we have experts from around the world that discuss our core competencies. And what does that mean to you as an end user, as now an international business person with a worldwide turnkey opportunity? So it all works out very well. Panther products are money. And we'll start with strategic metals. We believe strategic metals will, as a long-term investment, is one of the tops in the world, simply because everything that is electronic, everything that uses semiconductors or microchips would not be possible without strategic metals. And we know the Internet of Things is come about where the next decade of trains, planes, automobiles, blockchain, smartphones, flat screen TVs, drones, all happen because of strategic metals, and the demand will easily outstrip the supply in the very near future. So we love strategic metals. We're the only wholesalers in the world that I know of strategic metals, bringing those acquiring values to a point where everybody can afford it. Because before we came along, if you didn't have a minimum $100,000, you couldn't participate in this great opportunity known as strategic metals. Nextly, Panther products are all money. Precious metals are insurance. Now, there comes a point in time, and if you were on the Atlas call yesterday, I showed many different ways to maximize profits in the gold and silver industry, whether it be paper, whether it be 401k, a self-directed IRA, whether it be physical possession of gold, or whether it be investing in a subsidiary or peripheral mining activity. So here again, we've got some I's to dot and some T's to cross, but it looks like we're going to move forward with another great opportunity, another product that's going to allow you to leverage with minimal risk in the gold arena. And I'll share that here in the coming week or two. I don't think it'll take 2 weeks, but at least a week. So Panther products. And oh, by the way, as some of you may know, this last quarter, 2008 to present, gold right now, when adjusted for inflation, is the cheapest it's been in 300 years. So people always ask me, what's a good, safe investment? And I say, well, gold's not an investment. It's a hedge. It's an insurance. So I look at the value proposition. I look at if I'm going to use gold and silver as insurance, why, of course, you still want to get in and buy your insurances and have that premium as low as possible. So right now, gold is a great, great buy when adjusted for inflation. Again, lowest it's been in hundreds of years. And when you look at scenarios with crashing, of course, silver in the paper world outperforms gold 2.5 to 1. If you look at 2008, 2000, 1990, and on and on and on, the silver ratio to gold is favorable. It's well above 75. I believe it's about 85 ounces to 1 ounce of gold. So every time this happens, guys, remember things are cyclical. Silver is just an absolute great buy right now. Gold, like I said, 300-year low. So, and that was for I'll define and quantify what determines how that got to a 300-year low. But it's really nothing more than inflation, adjusting for inflation. So these are two great real property assets that I believe everybody should have a certain allocation of, whether you're using it as a protection to insure and hedge, whether you're using it for long-term investing. We're going to add a product that performs just like that. And then maybe you have gold speculatively that we'll talk about with cryptocurrency here. So really, here's a look at some of our products, our 10 gram, our 1 troy ounce golds, beautiful mintage out of Scottsdale Mint. Really appreciate the guys at Scottsdale Mint. They've done a wonderful job for us. SA 49, very nice. And we also offer a guaranteed buyback, because in the gold world, a physical possession, one of the downfalls of physical ownership is sometimes it can be difficult to liquidate and not be taken to the bank. So we offer a very fair and equitable buyback, provided that you have this Serta Lock and our product inside nicely tucked away. This Serta Lock does a lot of different things. It's DNA, if you will. It's got QR codes. It's the ability to track your gold. So as gold increases, which I firmly believe it will, actually, if you'd have followed the advice that we put out, a call to action on Atlas Forge, 3 or 4 months ago on gold, gold's up, 15-18% since then. Silver might be up 10 to 12% by then. So the next product that we bring out in gold will have the full Monty, if you will, of products that will fit all the challenges of macroeconomics today. Is, protect what you have some gold at home and small usable ingots. We have that in our Panther products. We're going to add the long-term investment into gold that is going to be more along the lines of mining contracts, and I'll get into the details of that, where it looks very nice, relatively safe compared to other assets that I look at. And then finally, cryptocurrency and currencies that are backed by gold are always a big thing. We offer cryptocurrency education and some cryptocurrency products. Right now, we are offering cryptocurrency products in the energy sector, where we're able to invert the value of power or electricity, if you will, into the blockchain, and then disperse that value across all reaches of the earth. So very nice. It's coming along very nicely. For those of you that have already got into the green boxes and have already started mining, you might have seen, heard now, if you've been on any of the calls, that Green, the company who we associate with and do the green boxes through, they're taking the next 45 days and they're moving their facility, because growth was so great and demand was so great. They're moving to a warehouse where the rigs and the mining rigs will be back online. They're offline now as they make the move to a new location that has lower kilowatt per hour. So it helps the whole ecosystem of green and the cryptocurrency and the green boxes and mining. So be patient as they make a big move and bring in, and at the end of the day, it helps us all, because they are acquiring and building this on, kilowatt hours at 2 cents an hour. So that'll all be great news as this builds itself out. Just be patient. Everything's coming along very nicely. So we have that cryptocurrency, proof of power, green mining. It's the one ecosystem, or less than a handful of ideas and thoughts and processes that for cryptocurrency to have value, in my eyes, it has to have utility. And that's exactly what we see with proof of power, with green mining. It has a future, it has utility, and it's going to be utilized on the blockchain. So those are all great things. Let's see here. The future. We know that the future is all about electronics, about convenience, electronic vehicles and drones and cryptocurrency and blockchain and robotics. It's going to change logistics and delivery. Add in solar and wind power, all run on blockchain. And then the biggest, really, there's three things that are going to change the landscape of the world over the next decade, and that's artificial intelligence that will have a predictive mentality to it. Don't think of artificial intelligence as a learning entity, because it's all programmed. It learns by which it predicts habits. So it doesn't really think, it just knows that, let's say, for example, you have a family of four and you bought a carton of eggs, and they know you go to the store every week, that without you even putting it on your grocery list, they know you're going to go through 8.7 eggs in that week. So it'll automatically be put on your grocery store. It's not that it's thinking, it just will take raw data. And if you give a computer enough data, why, of course, it'll spit out all kinds of accurate information. Just like us, you learn enough things, why, of course, it becomes easy then. It's not really thinking, it's, okay, the law of averages says you're going to order another carton of eggs this week. So you've got blockchain, artificial intelligence, and then, of course, what's going to power it all will be 5G smartphones. And the smartphones, the technology, the microchips, each smartphone, I don't care if it's Samsung, an iPhone, it doesn't matter. Each one have 5 to 7 microchips. They're mini computers. And then you add in, laptops and handhelds, and the future is all about convenience and data. So you're going to see these three things absolutely, positively dominate the world for easily the next decade. And all of those things would not be possible without silver, without strategic metals. So like Wayne Gretzky always said, I wasn't always the best hockey player. I wasn't the biggest, fastest, smartest. He goes, I could see the future. I knew where the puck was going to be. All investing is finding a great value, meaning buying assets at very low valuations, knowing that the future and everything is cyclical, whether it's driven by pure supply and demand, or you have an overwhelming barrage of information and data that says, okay, we know where we are now, we know where the future is going to be, and we know where the future is going to be. It's right there on your computer screen. It's in microchips, it's in smartphones, it's in blockchain, and it's coming, and it will change the world. Now, how do you profit from that? How do you monetize that? And the answer to that, the quick, easy answer to that, is strategic metals. So with that, that's kind of the overview of Panther Strategies, why we got started, why it's so valuable. Diversification is key. We think of Panther Strategies, Atlas Forge, as really a spoke or a wheel that has spokes, and each spoke represents a different diversification strategy, whether it be international banking, vaulting, precious metals, strategic metals. We're going to get into some mining. We're already into cryptocurrency mining. Survival is about having multiple assets in multiple jurisdictions that mitigate the overabundance of information that should cause worry, for lack of better words, that's going on in the world. Because it's not just the United States, it's the whole world, that everybody's in debt, personally, corporate, government. And there's so many things that are in and around bankruptcy that will start the ball rolling. For those that are prepared, you'll make more money than you ever have in your life. For those that are unprepared, you'll lose more money than you ever have. So that's your choice. Make more money than you ever have, or lose more money than you ever have. And let's just throw this out there. Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say there is no cataclysmic event, even though history has shown us every 15 years, there is a real estate meltdown, a bond meltdown, a stock exchange meltdown, a war, inflation, deflation, manipulation. It's all the same, guys. Nothing changes. They just kick the can down the road. And when they make a mistake, of course, governments bail themselves out and distribute, but nobody bails you out. So fast forward, we are here in the 21st century. The internet has connected us all and gave us liberties and abilities that we've never had before. The old model go to work 9 to 5, pay your taxes, invest it in corporate sponsored pensions, and your company or your government's going to take care of you as you get old, you can throw that out the window. That's all of these social programs, most of the pensions programs, and this is around the world, are grossly underfunded. I mean, grossly. People say, well, how are we ever going to pay back the debt? We're not. Debt has hit that point where it's not even conceivable that, I don't care if GDPs across the world jumped 100%. We don't have the means. We've spent ourselves into a drunken sailor status, and we've got very few options. And people say, well, they can always raise the interest rate. They can always print more money. Well, here's the ground floor, no BS thought on that. You wonder why they haven't increased the interest rates? Because if they increase the interest rate, they bankrupt themselves. You got to remember, the central banks are the ones that reduce the interest rates. They are the ones that printed all the money to spur economic development and increase and spur and spawn new creative expansions in all sectors of business, and they failed miserably. We spent what 10 to 12 trillion dollars to stimulate the economy, to increase GDP, and we didn't do it. We didn't accomplish it. We didn't even come close. All that we did was accumulate a whole bunch of debt. So the choice is yours. With that said, get back with the person that shared this video with you. We do these calls every Thursday. Atlas Forge, we do a call every Wednesday. We've got hundreds of hours of trainings and things on Atlas Forge, and more to come. So take advantage of the promotion that we're running now. If you haven't logged in to your back office here in the last couple of days, the last week, you'll see a completely different club structure than you did, say, a month ago or 2 months ago when we tested the system. Now it's built from momentum, volume. In essence, half of your business, provided you put one person in the power leg, is built for you. And that's a recipe for success. So with that said, check us out, get logged in, engage in our culture, check out the new promotion that we're running, check out the new corporate power leg, and then stand by here for the next couple of days, and we'll be launching and announcing a new product that we're going to add to our portfolio of real property assets. So with that said, thanks for joining us. Have a great day.